Hello, 5th grade. It's Mrs. Taranja with the Citizenship Academy. We're on Domain 4, Lesson 11, The Successful Governor. Our objectives for today are to explain and describe Sancho's experiences as governor, to create sentences using words and phrases that compare and contrast, create words with the prefixes il, and inter in the suffix ness and the root tract, and to practice spelling words. Some key vocabulary for today. Reason is to think in a sensible and logical way. Partridge is a bird that is hunted for food. Commotion is noise. Ingenuity is skill or cleverness that allows someone to create something or solve a problem. Reluctantly is done with hesitation or unwillingness. Agony is extreme pain. Booty, valuable goods or money taken as a prize after victory. Administration is government. Resign to give up a job in an official way. And dignity, calm behavior, and self-control. Okay, it is going to be an independent reading day, so you're going to read through the text on your own. Feel free to pause the video at any time to be able to read more carefully, and I know the language is a little tricky, just do your very best. Okay, our word work for today is ingenuity. We need your strength, your ingenuity, your courage to guide us. Ingenuity means a skill or cleverness that allows someone to create something or to solve some problem, and this is a noun. So what we're going to be working on for a little bit is talking about compare and contrast words. When we're saying a sentence or writing, we can use any one of these example words to compare and contrast. So if you would like to compare two things, remember compare is show how they're the same. You're going to want to use this language. So similar, likewise, just as, additionally, also. Those words are all going to compare. Now if you're going to contrast, remember contrast means the opposite. So some things that are not the same. And you can use the language like over here. So however, whereas, on the other hand, on the contrary. Those words are going to show how they're different. So these are some examples of compare and contrast sentences. Don Alonso was a village gentleman, whereas Don Quixote was an honorable knight. When we have the word whereas, it's showing that those are opposite or contrasting. Don Alonso is the village gentleman, but Don Quixote is an honorable knight. So they're showing how they're different. Don Alonso was a village gentleman, but Don Quixote was an honorable knight. Same thing. This is a way of showing how they're contrasted. Don Alonso wore gentleman's clothes. In contrast, Don Quixote wore a suit of armor. Again, this has it right in there to show that they are opposite or not the same. Just as Don Alonso rode a horse, Don Quixote rode a horse. Just as is our comparing word phrase that shows how this is the same. Don Alonso rode an old nag instead of Don Quixote's noble steed. This instead of shows how it's contrasting. Don Alonso is riding the old nag, but he rides a noble steed. Don Alonso lived in a simple cottage, however, Don Quixote lived in a magnificent castle. Again, showing how they are opposite, not the same. So that's contrasting. So we're going to do a quick review of prefixes, suffixes, and roots. So remember, a prefix is a syllable or syllables that are at the beginning of a root word. So for example, the word pre, or the prefix pre, comes at the beginning of the word. So prepare, pre-made, those come before the root word. And remember, the root word for these words were made, prepare, things like that. The suffix is the syllable or syllables that are at the end of a root word. So remember, that could be like ness, kindness, helpfulness. Those are suffixes. Those come at the end of the word. And remember that as the root word is that main element of a word. So that's kind of what I talk about down here, is that's the main element of the word. We're adding the prefix and the suffix to change the meaning of it. Okay, this is our vocabulary spelling words for the week. We have drowsiness, friendliness, greatness, steadiness, attract, distract, extract, tractor, excavate or evacuate, vacancy, and vacuum. And you can see we have a couple of our, I'll move my video, I'm sorry about that. We have a couple of those prefixes, suffixes, and root words in there too. So you can kind of see how we have tract, we have ness, and things like that. So it's really important to remember that we can, by adding these prefixes, suffixes, we're actually changing the meaning of the word. So it's kind of cool how it does that. So your assessment for today is to add the correct prefix or suffix to the given root word to complete each sentence. And I will see everyone in our next video.